New horizon and a day, it all came true. Keller Williams, you make dreams come true. Home sweet home, oh home sweet home, home sweet home.
Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan and Friends. Here's your host, Russ McClellan.
Hey, welcome to Home Sweet Home with Russ McClellan. Thanks for tuning in. How is everybody? You know, we're doing a lot of business right now, and it's exciting because we're growing fast. And you know, a couple years ago, this is our second full calendar year. We're up about 50% in transactions and revenue, and we've paid out almost $3 million in commissions. It's hard to believe that we're only a little over 2 years old and going into our second full calendar year. And the reason we're able to have so much fun is really two parts. One, we have an incredible leadership team, and I just want to shout out to them. Taylor Stimmel, who's our CEO and team leader, Luke Groen, who's one of our partners, and his wife, Sydney, Kelly Hain, who's our market center administrator and also happens to be my sister and a saint because she also takes care of our mom who has dementia. And Stephanie Jones is our managing broker, so she's kind of the air traffic controller of detail. And what's fun about this is that we're all in alignment and we all understand one thing, that our brokers that work at Keller Williams really are our clients. And that's kind of an unusual way to look at it. I think historical top-down management type companies where the designated broker usually was the owner, not always, but basically it was I captain the ship, I've taken the risk, I get the return. One of the very different things about the culture of Keller Williams and what has allowed Keller Williams since the founder Gary Keller in 1983 opened it to become the largest real estate company on the planet with about 56 or so countries and about 170 plus thousand agents worldwide, is that we are for agents by agents, not for owners by owners. And with that, I'm excited to introduce today a couple agents that are with us. And one is with me right now in the KW studio. Good morning, Diana Peters.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you know, we've known each other about a year, I think, and you've been in the real estate business about a year. What has that year been like? And welcome back to the fold.
It's actually been interesting. I've learned a lot, and it's been challenging because I do work another job, and so I let my customers know that there are times where I have to focus in on that other job, but I always come back to them, and I like the one-on-one service that I'm able to provide to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things I've already learned about you is you're a driven person. And you said something to me a few days ago that I thought had resonated with me. And I think a lot of people can relate to this. We often have more than one full-time job, so to speak. We just don't always call it that. Like you've raised kids.
Correct.
Right? Is that a full-time job?
Oh, that was.
Mine are 28, 23, and it seems like they will always be my kids, and there will always be things to do and talk about, and so that job never really ends. But so often we don't realize that, you know, the rule of 168, which is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, gives us a lot more time if managed correctly and efficiently than we might realize. We were just talking off air about how often when you go to a real estate office or any office, really, you spend a lot of time by the water cooler or by the coffee pot or at lunch.
Exactly.
And then you go home and you go, wow, why didn't I get anything done? Or like we said, that inevitable rabbit hole of social media that sucks your brain right out, right into those rabbit holes, and you you look up and it's been an hour and a half, and you know everything about Norwegian basket weaving, but it really has nothing to do with real estate, right? So with your drive and your focus, I think you're right. You know, your ability to be an amazing real estate broker, even though you have a full-time career, isn't a bad thing sometimes. How would you say that with your focus on your individual clients, how that can be an asset to them? Because you probably pick and choose who you're going to work with.
I do, and I let them know in the beginning that I am always available via cell phone or text messaging, and I prioritize a lot of things. I am an early morning person, so I try to get my first job done for the day. Or I will shuffle things around. I do have that ability with the first job that I can shuffle those things around and focus in on the real estate and then go back to the other job. So that has given me that extra flexibility when I need that. But I'd have to say I'm definitely a type A personality. And if I can get something extra done in that day by getting up an extra half an hour early, then that's what I do.
Yeah. It's funny because I have to be careful. I also get up pretty early, and every once in a while I don't catch myself, but I'm firing off emails to my leadership team at 3:34 in the morning, and they're like, "What are you doing, jerk?" You know, it's just yesterday in my world. So it's kind of funny that we all have a different. The thing about real estate that I love so much is we all have a different approach. There's so many ways to do this business. Mm-hmm. And I think your focus on real estate in the last year, you were with us briefly and you went to a different company, and then you've come back. And just in the last few days, I think we've had the opportunity, because you actually live fairly close to Chelan. And with that, you're going to be working perhaps with our Frontline real estate team. And I was able to introduce you to Tom and Marcia and Lois and Trish that are all part of that team based out of Chelan. And what were some of the things that maybe you were surprised by, even just in the initial few meetings?
Well, I loved all of their positivity. Mm-hmm. The fact that they were willing to take me aside, ask me additional questions, offer their assistance, scheduled to meet with Tom tomorrow for him to show me more and on how he does things, and I'm excited about learning that. Mm-hmm. I'm not quite computer savvy, and so he said that he's taught numerous other individuals that are definitely not computer savvy, and they've picked it all up. So I'm excited about that. I do love learning. So if there's more that's given to me, I'll absorb it like a sponge, and then try to squeeze out where I can and how I can do that. Lois gave me a personal phone call and of course their business card, so I have direct contact with them at any point if I needed anything. It was a wonderful experience, and they are all wonderful, loving individuals.
Yeah, the fun thing about Keller Williams, you'll find this, and I don't know exactly how Gary Keller figured all this out. I guess one of the things that we do that's very different than any other real estate company that I'm aware of is we profit share. And we profit share based on bonuses on who made the money, right? And why did they join our firm? So we actually incentivize people to tell the story of Keller Williams, and we want to grow. I mean, that's one of the things we do. At 49% above an expense line that's predictable. So typically, I think that might lead into the culture of generosity and openness and selflessness, but also I think it just attracts a certain, when you act a certain way from the leadership team, where you realize that we're always smarter as a collective than we are as an individual. I've been in the real estate business 32 years. I started when I was 19 years old, right? But we have 19-year-olds in our real estate company right now, and I'm pushing 52. Well, the fun thing about that is, you mentioned technology, where that 19-year-old is probably born with an iPad or a laptop in his crib, right? I didn't get introduced to that till late college, right? A computer, and it was a very old one, like an Apple IIe, I think I started with. The point of that is that we all learn from each other. And if you're in that learning-based mindset, great things can happen for your clients and for yourself. And one of my personal goals, which I know you believe this too, and excited about, but my goal is to transition people or transform people's lives that are real estate brokers, using real estate as the vehicle to do that. I mean, there's so much happening. I mean, you've probably noticed it in your day job or even in real estate, how many people are moving here.
Oh, exactly.
Right. And with that, they're bringing a different economic base, because a lot of people are coming from the west side of the Cascades. The forced adoption of technology and the work from home, the embracing of work from home attitudes by employers is allowing people to literally live where there's 300 days of sunshine and make the same amount of money they used to have to live in Seattle to make. Okay, well, part of the challenge with that is that brings higher prices, because that demand curve is out of control, right? I say this in the most polite term, but it's an invasion. And real estate is sometimes an avenue like yourself where you can have a day job and then transition, if you choose to, into a full-time career. And we've actually have people like Leslie Bitterman and Melody that are, Michael Shipley just quit his job. Leslie's transitioning. It's exciting to watch. So when we come back, we'll this show's made up of 4 segments. The last segment's built for prime lending, and we talk about finance. But if you don't mind, we'll come back and talk just a little bit more. And I have a couple questions I want to ask you.
Wonderful. Sounds great.
All right. We'll be right back in a few minutes. Thanks for tuning in.
Keller Williams, you make dreams come true.